Ask not to wipe your buttocks after every shit, just to save enough toilet paper, soak it in water, rub it into a ball of earth, and then put the anal sex picture on them. The surface layer is evenly placed on the toilet, share them, and finally try your best to knead all the paper balls and plug them tightly. And walk behind the toilet. One is never, and he is at an angle. Return the milk and extract the waterproof inner membrane in the milk carton. The ischemic toilet air raid. Secretly stick it on the code lock of the security door, and when the unknown Jade comes back to open the door. At that time, the inner membrane of the fingerprint change process was tight, and the man quickly pushed the accurate password to the beach to see that everything was ready. And the man became quiet, waiting for the police to come to deliver the food. And then, before he was ready to close and send it to the exam, he quickly stuffed the paper ball prepared in advance into the keyhole, and the window was easily opened. And then the man was fast. Entering the cracked code is for a high-security prison. His Cantonese road has just begun. And then the man becomes shallow, if the surveillance screen in the room is 3. 10 minutes ago, he had falsified the descent he had left in the room. But when he thought everything was running seamlessly, he would review his room again. Still with the situation is her husband's companion chasing the lyrics, Brother Long has pushed him at the end. There is a card at the end. Just when he thought he escaped, the scene in front of him is difficult. Execute the fish mouth that you have worked so hard to run out of in and out of a lonely sea ship. Even if there is no early warning to stop it, it is more difficult to escape from here than to ascend to the sky. Yongo had to go back the same way and find another way. Why did the children's song end up in this heavily guarded prison? It turned out that he was the famous Cantonese king in 10 miles and 8 townships just last month. Government officials came to participate in the test of a new prison, and as long as they could successfully escape, they could receive a prize of $2 million. For him, the pediatrician was holding a gun in his hand, but before the contract was signed, his eyes were blackened by a mysterious man, and he was already in this new building when he woke up from the coma. In the prison, and all the prisoners here are single family. Not only the rooms are all made of glass, but also equipped with 720-degree real-time monitoring without dead ends. Smoke to see the situation. Not optimistic, Brother Yong immediately applied for an exit code, but the other party looked confused, and he had never heard of such a thing. And at this time, Brother Long reacted to the source. Come on, I was ordered to make a song, but it is impossible to trap me here, and it is impossible to evaluate my years of Cantonese experience, and I still have no choice if I want to escape. Who can come to the main tower? But the whole prison guards didn't find each point. Just as he was at a loss, he didn't show Lao Li's brain and came over to see you, kid, here. To describe the certainty of Xiao Yue in the belly, after simple communication, the two hit it off and decided to escape here together. And now, the first task is to create chaos like a dragon. Brother will be locked up in a confinement room as he wishes. Maybe there will be a number of students there, and the heart will go to the ghost place with it, and it will grow up and be baked for you 24 hours a day with electric heating wires. But unintentionally, the rivets on the board caused Jung's master to come out alive after the great torment of maturity. And to evaluate his keen observation, he found that the whole building was sagging. The perfect escape plan is initially formed. As long as the cat in the confinement room is forced to inquire along the ventilation ducts, they can consider the problem. There was a commotion again, and soon Brother Long was taken back to the small dark room by the prison guards. And then he took advantage of the early warning to endlessly use the iron plates prepared in advance to easily pry open the ground. But when he climbed out of the top of the pipe with all his might, he was almost scared to death by the scene in front of him. Don't come to this new prison realm, built in the vast sea, at this moment, Brother Long's. His heart is very complicated, and his carefully laid out prison escape plan came to naught in this instant. And after letting him return to prison, he quickly pieced together a simple position. Please continue to profit. With his own misfortune, he successfully impressed a wave of his coordinates and then passed on to his ex-husband's brother, and then got up. And when the ride in the mountains was already chaotic, he succeeded in 6 data. I thought that dismantling the surveillance would make the escape safer, and I needed to trigger the chain alarm system. But soon their location could be locked, and those people had to withdraw first. Lee and his companion's bald head was unfortunately hit and killed on the spot. But this also made the panicked Brother Long discover the main switch of the monitoring power supply, so he destroyed the incense as soon as possible. At this time, Morning Biao also completely lost their trace, and then ordered his men to close all the exit doors, see that the situation was not good, and let the building wait for him at the exit first. And he would be quick. When he quickly returned to the central control, he first knocked the staff to the ground with a punch, and then quickly opened all the exits, and the waiting mountain charcoal import and export were opened, and 46 was scooped. On the deck, the teammates who came to the rescue also happened to be in time. And then, under the maintenance of absolute firepower, the large order successfully boarded the plane, and urgently picked up a heavy machine gun and pointed it at the pre-event below. The massacre opened by the police is in the climb, and 10 times the trademark normal. So after that, it is a mess to spit out. And the husband and wife are about to be interrupted, and the fusion force can start a counterattack. Pattern. In the past 16 years, the aunt who was beaten by the oil drum she wore was burned in the next second, and the finished oil drum was ignited with a violent explosion, and the funeral was also sent to the northwest on the spot. In the end, the two escaped from death, and the public key and the cologne song never matched. It turned out that the entire layout was operated by Xiao Mei behind the scenes, just to give him a hand, to give him his own father. The farmer who learned the truth was furious, but he had to accept all this reluctantly. After all, he couldn't do it without loud cooperation. Brother Long, who was able to successfully escape from this prison and finally achieve financial freedom, decided to wash his hands in a golden basin, took his girlfriend to live a happy life without shame or impatience, and the film Bundle